had...
been?
Huh?
Would it have been? Isn't he floating like a million mana? He has 6 mana.
Oh, he's got 6. Never mind. I thought he only had 5 mana.
No.
Looks like we got a Delver to play. That's a 3/2. Well, it's
And
actually
sort of the problem with Bug Delver is that to really beat Mud, you kind of need like that extra reach, right?
Yeah, and one of the problems that this Bug Delver has is that if it doesn't have board control, it doesn't actually have any way of dealing damage.
Yeah.
There's no Lightning Bolt in the deck.
It's kind of hard to get board control against Mud Posts.
Yes, absolutely. You need to get underneath them and then counter every single big spell they play. And countering the Trinisphere was a good start, but then the Karn was able to follow up and just eat Josh's board.
Yeah.
And I feel like this game's going to be going to a quick game too.
Yeah.
I feel like Mudpost is slightly favored in this matchup, but Bug Delver can definitely have the hands that get underneath.
Yeah. I mean, like, just say for a minute, instead of hemming the Lodestone Golem and Metalworker, he hemmed the Lodestone Golem and Karn.
Yeah, it would have been very
Then
good.
the game would have been over in Josh's favor.
So it looks like he's going to resolve the Bob trigger for... Oh, he resolved the Delver trigger first, saw what it was, and then resolved the Bob trigger. Okay. Those cards in the middle of the board are exiled underneath Karn Liberated.
Yes.
And if they are permanents, they will be put into the field if that all goes off. Brainstorm will not get put onto the field, though. Cannot put permanents onto... Or cannot put spells onto the field.
Alright, and Jeff is end of turn activating Forge Master.
I imagine this is going to get like a Sundering Titan or something of that nature. Steel
Sundering
Hellcat,
Titan
maybe?
seems good.
I'm a huge fan of Staff of Nin, and I did see one. He walked right past it, and he's going to get Platinum Imperium. The only out in Josh's...
or just...
Oh, Blightsteel. Okay, and Blightsteel, of course, is going to swing for almost lethal and force Josh to double chump block.
No, he'll Karn first.
Oh, right. Karn one of the permanents and then attack.
Yeah.
Pretty solid game 1 take there.
Yep. Mudpost showing what it can do. Get mana.
Fast mana, huge permanents.
I mean, let's go back to this, though. If Josh had wastelanded the Cloud Post,
Yeah?
Jeff could only have Vesuvi'd the Ancient Tomb, and he ended at, like, 6 life.
Very true. I think he ended at 8. I
Yeah.
see the 6 and then the 7 on the
Yeah.
dies that are just barely off screen.
Yeah. So I actually think if Josh wastelanded the Cloud Post there, he would have gotten the game.
Yeah, I think you might be right, actually. Definitely could have happened. I like when people see where the marker is for what's on camera and what's not on camera, and then they intentionally put things directly on top of the line. These guys are getting ready for game 2. Quick board strats. Wasteland is basically the dream. Can't imagine boarding that one out.
Wasteland is awesome.
Days definitely can see that one coming out. It's a
It
lot
doesn't-
better on the play than it is on the draw.
Yeah.
It's one of the few answers for a turn 1 Chalice that is not card disadvantage.
Null Rod and K Grip seem solid.
Yes, absolutely. Not really a whole lot going on in the rest of this board. Golgari Charm, Hydroblast. Not powerful.
Disfigure.
Kill the Metalworker.
He passed over quick, but yeah, it kills Metalworker, it kills Revoker.
I'm not
So
too
I'm not sure.
worried about Revoker in this
Not worried
matchup.
about Revoker really.
I don't know if Mudpost runs Revoker, and if it does, I don't think it comes up in this matchup. You can't name Wasteland.
No, but you can name the Liana for your big threats and Deathrite Shaman.
Yeah, those are 2 nameable cards. I feel like that's not really the way that Jeff's going to be attacking this matchup, though.
Probably not.
I could see Revoker on Liliana coming up, but it would definitely have to be a proactive play. Do you want to play Revoker before the Liliana comes down?
I mean, I'd almost rather just Revoker on Deathrite because if you Liliana me and I have a Revoker in play, I don't mind sacking the Revoker.
Yeah, very
In this
true.
matchup.
Very true. And actually, if your opponent goes turn 1 Deathrite and you go turn 2 Revoker, they can't go turn 2 Liliana.
Yeah.
Interesting. 1 turn can mean a lot in these matchups, too.
Yep.
1 untap step. 1 draw step.
One draw step. Like, Jeff's deck has so much mana and just... there will be hands that Jeff will have that he just needs to draw the right spell or the right land.
Yes, absolutely. He
Yeah.
needs to see the proper ratio in his opening hand of business spells to business mana.
Yeah.
If it's Dolly, wears his business suit and goes to Business Town. That came out much less funny than I had thought it in my head.
It was...
I noticed you
That was
didn't
just-
even react.
I wasn't sure how to react to Business Town.
Yeah, I should have said Business Time.
Business Time would have been fun.
Yeah, would have referenced some Flight of the Conchords there. Instead, I choked.
This is Business Time.
Exactly
This
2
is
minutes.
the opposite of Business Time. This is Shuffle Time.
This is Magic the Loading Screen,
Yep.
actually, is what I've come to colloquially call shuffling in Magic the Gathering. The one big advantage of Midgo over Paper Magic is
this takes less than a second to do.
Tutor effects also great on Magic Online. When you see your entire deck laid in front of you in sorted order, it feels great.
You know the problem with Moto though is that the button is right over, like the mulligan button stays where it is, and then when it lags and you press it and you're like, this is mulligan, and you press it again, and then it registers both right away.
Oh yeah.
And then all of a sudden you have like 4 cards in your hand, and you're just like, okay, I'm conceding this game. This is dumb.
You did it.
You did it.
Magic wins again.
Yep.
Yeah, we're getting set up for game 2 here. Josh Powell is going to be on the play with this Bug Delver deck versus this very big, trying to go over the top, Mud Post, 12 Post, Ancient Tomb, Karn Liberated combo deck.
I really like of the mud variety, this has really like shown to be the build.
You know, a lot of people have been playing it here. I don't know if it's got a lot of national presence or, metagame presence, but here in Seattle, there's a ton of people that play it.
Yeah.
Definitely
double Wasteland.
That's what I like to see. You get a Delver on turn 1, Ponder, Wasteland on turn 2. I like this. I love this hand, actually.
This hand is perfect. Yeah. So fetch out, I assume Underground Sea. Tropical. Okay.
Yeah, I like getting a Trop. You have a Tarmogoyf in your hand that you're hoping to deploy soon.
Okay.
It's going to be in a few turns because your next couple turns are going to be...
Waste your land.
Yeah. This hand is much more powerful on the play than it is on the draw.
It is. So on the play, you get to keep Jeff off of three mana really easily.
Very easily. How many fast mana sources can he have is the real question. We're gonna see a Grim Monolith.
Okay, never mind about that taking him off 3 mana.
Yes. Well, he's gonna have 3 mana once.
There's a transfer.
Yeah. 3 ball is out. So Josh no longer can play a lot of the cards in his deck. Let's hope this Delver flips for him.
Nope.
No flip. Looks like he's gonna reveal it anyways.
Might
I'm
as
a
well.
big fan of doing that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got a mana.
I would not waste the city. I would play a land.
So if you don't waste the city, you give your opponent access to potentially 4 mana.
Yes, but a lot of Jeff's lands come into play tapped.
Fair enough. That's one way of looking at it. And it's going to die anyways, but I don't know if you can let Jeff resolve a single spell here.
Sure.
And if you just manage to lock him off of lands while he's got a 4 mana spell in play. So in this situation, you are correct. It seems optimal to save that waste. Another non-flip off that Delver, revealing another land.
Another land.
Ouch. That Trinisphere really hurting Josh. He would have been able to sculpt that top so that sculpt top his library so he would not have drawn 2 lands there.
Shuffled away with Ponder.
Probably, yeah.
Jeff, I think with a top deck Cloud Post again.
Mm-hmm. So if Josh had saved that Wasteland, he could lock Jeff off another land.
Wow.
Another land for Josh. That is painful.
I mean, that's going to be useful when it comes to playing spells off the Trinisphere, but...
I mean, if he wants to play 2 spells a turn, sure.
Yeah, but Jeff is going to be... Jeff could have been at, 9 by now.
Yes. So 3 mana is on the table for Jeff, but no 3 mana play. Finally, we see a reveal. It's a Hymn to Torok.
Yeah.
Do you like playing Lily here, or do you like playing him here? Or you play...
I think I play Tarmogoyf.
I like playing Tarmogoyf. If you play Tarmogoyf here and your opponent follows up with a big creature, you can Liliana to destroy it.
Tarmogoyf also makes the Ancient Tomb a lot worse.
Oh, absolutely. The race is certainly on. So I think you just get Underground Sea off those 2 fetches, drop that Tarmogoyf, and pass the turn. I like that line.
I guess I'm a little worried about what Jeff might be able to do soon.
Mm-hmm. He's got 3 mana right now.
Yeah.
So he could potentially go up to 5, I believe.
Yeah. So if you can go up to 5, that's not too dangerous. You can play like Lotus Golem, and then that gets. Then that gets.
He's got another land in his hand, so he'll be able to pay the extra non-artifact cost on that Lotus Golem.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just like getting more power onto the board.
Let's see what he elects to do. It looks like he's playing Liliana this turn, so that's going to go up. Ride this elevator to victory.
Yeah.
Let's see what cards get pitched. It looks like a fetch. Oh, that was a Ponder, which I like. I like getting rid of that Ponder. And a Kodlotha Forge Master for Jeff. So that is a card that Jeff could potentially play. However, it would immediately die to that Liliana should he drop it. Looks like chat is talking about the optimal way to shuffle between library searches. And I feel like the fetch land into a pile shuffle, into a Green Sun Zenith for 0, into a pile shuffle, into a Dryad Arbor is exactly where you want to be.
Sure.
Draw for the turn. Looks like a Deathrite Shaman. A little late.
A little late.
I feel like it's probably going to get pitched to that Liliana. Let's see exactly how this turn plays out for Josh. I feel like playing Tarmogoyf here is right, just like playing Tarmogoyf last turn was right. Jeff is going to be able to untap that Grim Monolith this turn, which is going to be a ton of mana for him on the following turn.
Actually, almost like hemming here plus Lily.
Okay, just
because I would put him on one card.
Mm-hmm. Do you like?
I would Lily first.
Yeah, me too. 6 is not going to do it. 2 is going to do it.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. It's going to get the 2 cards on the left. Let's see what they are. I'm very curious. You know what Ooh, it looks like a Wormcoil Engine and a Forge Master. That's very powerful.
Yeah.
Hitting that Wormcoil Engine is a big deal. He does not have a good way to deal with Wormcoil. Looks like he's going to shove another land into his graveyard.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got.
I
told Jeff that the lines were there so that everyone could see what was on the battlefield and what isn't, and he seemed like he was aware.
Yeah.
And then he proceeded to put cards.
So end of turn, he's untapping. Okay, it was another Forge Master. He's untapping the Grim Monolith.
Mm-hmm. So he's got a lot of mana here.
Yeah.
But does he have a card off the top that he can cast? A Wormcoil Engine would probably be the one.
That's a Sundering Titan.
Oh, very powerful here, especially with Josh pitching 2 lands to his Liliana. I feel like he should have been playing those lands, leaving them up as fetches.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of why if he had Tarmogoyf in play before the Liliana,
I think
the
Jeff
Liliana
might be dead. If the Liliana had come down, or if the Tarmogoyf had come down instead of Lily.
Because the Tarmogoyf is just artifact, creature, sorcery, no instant, and land. So it's like a 4/5.
Mm-hmm. And then if Liliana elects to downtick enough times to die, Planeswalker pumps it up one more time.
That's a Wormcoil, though. That is powerful.
Yes, Wormcoil Engine is very hard for this deck to deal with. Liliana doesn't really do what you want it to do. You still sack them, and then if you have an Abrupt Decay, you can Abrupt Decay the lifelink token.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just a very awkward race for you.
He's a Tarmogoyf, which helps.
Very much so. And it's a 4/5. Ooh, we got those fancy Tarmogoyf dice.
Yeah.
We were using those to keep track of turns of Time Walk
Okay.
during the Vintage tournament when someone was on turn 1 of 2. It got weird when someone was on turn 1 of 3, though.
That's a little weird. So yeah, do you like? I think I like just holding back here. So your Liliana lives.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You get to trade the Delver's Secrets for the Death Touch token.
Yes.
And Nom Nom Nom, the lifelink token with Tarmogoyf.
And then you have a Tarmogoyf in play, and then any other threat. So I'm assuming he's just getting in here with the Death Touch one?
I have to imagine that's only the Death Touch one. You can't attack with the lifelink one into a Tarmogoyf.
Yeah.
Unless you really think getting life is important.
It might be. He has the Ancient Tomb in play, but I doubt it.
He is at 11, so I don't think his life total is too relevant at this point.
No. Yep, I'm blocked with Delver.
Looks like the Death Touch one. No life gain for either player. And then Jeff looks like he just shipped the turn, so that Death Touch token is going to die. Oh, Crossing Grip is the draw. So I would downtick with Lily here and swing with the Tarmogoyf. And then, should Jeff play anything large, you can K-Grip it.
Yeah, so I think Jeff's plan here is he's going to want to untap the Grim Monolith, and then he's planning on Sundering Titan next turn.
Which is going to leave him
Wow,
out
I don't
to
like
dry.
this.
Ooh, we're going to see an uptick. Discard Sundering Titan. Maybe this is fine.
Wow.
Now you can K-Grip that token, get in for 4, and he's going to Thoughtseize. Interesting. It's an
All is dust. Wow. Okay, so
That'd have been a huge play.
Yeah, it would have been a huge blowout.
I take it all back. This was the correct line.
Yes.
For Josh Powell to take.
Yes, this was right. This was right. 100%. Turns out all the dust is busted.
Yeah, all is busted.
I would not attack with the
I don't think you can attack here.
Nope.
I think either way, it's bad for you. Either Jeff chump blocks and trades with the Tarmogoyf, or he doesn't and he gets Liliana down the line.
Yeah.
It dies.
Oh, no, that was the lifelink one. Oh, that's right. He got in with the Death Touch one last turn.
Right. Very hard to tell. Those two tokens, I think, were the same, and that's where the problem arises.
Yeah. Okay, then I do like that attack.
Yes, that attack is definitely right then.
Is it, though? Because I guess you'd always hold back if he attacks Liliana next turn.
Now he has basically nothing to play off the top.
Yeah. Yeah,
Or
so
he takes
now
home.
Jeff is in a situation where he needs to draw a big threat. He has, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana, so he can Ugin, Karn. No, not. I guess Karn would take the Tarmogoyf off.
Yeah. Karn and Ugin are both great draws for him.
Yeah.
But, he's got to draw them. I feel like whatever he has, he's just jamming it on the table. There shouldn't be a lot of tanking going on, You
Chalice
got an
on
option,
one.
it's a Chalice. So the way this works is you declare what you're choosing X to be. You pay double X, and if it's less than 3, you have to then increment how much mana you play to 3.
Yep.
So should you play Chalice on 1, you declare X equals 1, pay 2 mana, and then pay an extra for Trinisphere.
And instantly, Josh draws another 1-drop.
Of course.
Pithing Needle would have been really good here. Shut off that Grim Monolith.
Untap, absolutely. Grim Monolith untap.
Yeah.
Now it's probably just going to get discarded to that Lily. Ooh, Josh does have a Krosan Grip in his hand. I still think you uptick with Lily, discard the Pithing Needle,
And then hold back the K grip for
whatever he plays. Hopefully, you have to hope Jeff does not draw a Karn or an Ugin, is really what this comes down to.
Yeah. There's an argument for K gripping the Grim Monolith.
You could if you wanted to, but I don't think you need to worry about it.
Well, I think all.
Oh, that puts him at 6 mana. Maybe you do that actually.
Yeah.
If you put him at 6 mana, he can't top deck a Karn here,
Yeah, I mean he can only top deck.
But then
The only top deck is Wormcoil Engine.
which would be a huge one.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then you definitely want.
But things like Lodestone Golem and Clotho the Forge Master are all dealable with Liliana.
Absolutely. And actually, if he draws, oh, never mind.
So I think you're basically doubling the outs that he has by not I don't know if he plays the full set of Karn. Probably only plays 2 Ugin, I can imagine.
I'd have to imagine 4 Karn, 2 Ugin. Ooh, it looks like 4 mana. What does he got? So another Chalice in there. This time on 2.
I think if it's Lodestone Golem, you just got to jam. Okay,
It's
Chelsea.
another Chalice. This one is also going to be on 1, it looks like.
Okay.
Interesting.
Did you-
Abrupt Decay is the draw.
Okay.
So, see, Jeff is at 7. Attack. I probably would Abrupt Decay the Grim Monolith here. There's not going to be a ton of targets for it.
So all is dust an instant?
It is a sorcery. It is a tribal sorcery, in fact.
Oh, it's a tribal sorcery, so that's how it got bigger.
Yes.
Okay, so he's putting him at. Okay,
This puts Jeff at 4 mana because that Ancient Tomb is
dead.
disabled.
Dead.
Disabled due to life.
And so
total.
all he can do at 4 mana, I think, is Lodestone Golem, which isn't going to be enough.
How about third
another
Chalice in the Void?
Third Chalice, not.
Not quite going to do
Yeah.
it.
I
Going
wish I
into
could.
game
I wish I could play 3 Chalice of the Void in Vintage.
3. Yeah.
Sadly,
You can play the subset of
Yeah.
how many chalices you just said.
yeah. Play 1.
The inverse, the inverse.
Yeah.
Not the subset. Let's see if there's any cards that Josh elects to bring in. None of those cards look even remotely playable in this matchup, so I imagine they're all going to stay on the board. Interesting. So he wants to bring in a Daze?
That seems wrong.
I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
I like Daze on the play. I think he should have had them last game, but I don't like them in this game. Okay.
I don't
He's
even know
gonna
if
keep
I
them on
like.
sideboard. I feel like there's worse cards you can have. I feel like having a ton of 1-drops versus Chalice of the Void deck is a little ambitious. I like boarding out some number of them. Just shaving the numbers a little bit, not bringing out full sets or anything like that.
Yeah.
These players are going to start game 3,
Was-
of course, at 21.
Especially in the Abrupt Decay decks, like Chalice of the Void is. Can be.
Yeah, you usually want your Abrupt Decays to be hitting either Grim Monoliths or Trinispheres, from my experience, with the occasional Wormcoil token,
Yeah.
and Chalice of the Void should need be. The problem is when your plan is to Abrupt Decay their Chalice of the Void that they play on turn 1, that's you using your turn 2 play
Yeah.
to then unlock your turn 1 plays on turn 3.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. On the draw, it's better to take out some Chalice because they still get their turn 1 play, and then they now have a plan for turn 2.
Okay.
Take out your Chalice.
Okay.
It lines your Chalice of the Void doesn't line up as backbreaking
Very good point.
on the draw versus on the play. Maybe I'm porting in the. So in Vintage, when you could play 4 Chalice, it was often a good idea to board out some number on the draw because you can't just jam at turn 1 on 0.
Yeah, that's usually what you wanted to do in Vintage.
Yeah.
I stopped doing that as much and started playing it on 1. Just
Playing it
stop
on 1
the
was
cantrips.
insane.
Yeah, just stop all of their cantrips.
Yeah.
These guys, quick shuffle loony. Quick cut.
Yep.
and then draw their openers for this final game of this final round
Yeah.
of this week's.
So there's some really good games this week.
Absolutely. We had Minotaurs on camera. Minotaurs.
Sadly, it got killed turn 1.
I mean, yeah. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes your opponent draws about 70 cards in one turn. There's
Okay.
still a chance.
There's still a chance we might get stasis. This hand looks awesome by the way.
Do you like wasting here on turn
Yes.
1, or do you play Delver? He's got so many wastelands. If you had a
No. Yeah, I think you just got to wasteland.
yeah, I think if you have a Force of Will, you can play the Delver on turn 1.
Yeah.
But because he does not have a counterspell, you cannot let your opponent resolve a spell.
Wow.
Jeff's going to gain a life here and pass the turn. And
Yeah.
let me tell you, when your opponent plays Glimmer Post,
You feel good.
yeah, you feel very good. Now you start jamming these Delvers.
Yeah.
Bam,
Okay.
Delver, your turn.
Things are looking good.
Yes. Jeff is hiding a Soul Land, though. He's in pretty good shape, as he can drop a Metalworker. Oh, he's got an Ancient or City of Traders.
Yeah.
That's going to let him play that Metalworker. Is he going to play Trinisphere? Okay, he's going to
Okay.
play
Just
Trinisphere.
Fear seems good.
So if you're Josh, do you waste the Glimmer Post, or do you waste the Ancient or City of Traders?
He only has wasteland, right?
He's only got one more Wasteland. I believe there was 2 people playing Miracles at a tournament of 33 players today.
Yeah.
So there
I
was,
think. Yeah, I like that.
yeah, this forces your opponent to have another Soul Land to be able to play out of this Trinisphere.
Yeah. But the deck doesn't even do that much at 3. Like at 3 he can then play the Metalworker, which
To be
I
fair,
guess
that'd be a very big
I guess
deal.
that does a lot.
And it's a second Glimmer Post, so Jeff's going to gain 2 life,
Yep.
but
I'm not gonna be able to play anything.
yeah, not casting anything for that. Try it's a Deathrite Shaman, just a little too late.
But he has a land. I think he might even have a 3rd land in
I
hand.
believe he has a 3rd land. I didn't
I
see the
think I saw a
Verticatic last
Delta.
time I looked.
Or
Oh,
maybe
you know what?
maybe
Nope.
I was looking at the Verdant Catacombs. Never mind.
Yeah, I think you're right. Me too. He's got a Sylvan Library. He's got a Brainstorm. He's got a Deathrite.
Yeah.
He's got a Delver. He's got an Abrupt Decay, and he's got a Ponder. That's
There's
the
the
6.
Ancient Tomb.
So there's the Soul Land. 4 mana unlocks quite a bit. However, it's going to be Metalworker this time.
Yeah, but if Josh gets a land off the top, this is gonna be big.
Absolutely.
Because Abrupt Tickets can come down, shut off the Metalworker, I assume.
Yeah.
You just gotta kill the Metalworker.
This has to resolve. Josh can't cast a spell right now. Unless
Yep.
he's hiding a Simian Spirit Guide off camera. Maybe he's doing that. You never know. Draw. Oh, it's a
Spell Pierce. That's not gonna do it.
That's a blank. This is turned
This is
out
bad.
very
This
poorly
is bad.
for Josh. Yeah. Great for Jeff though. I always feel like these post decks, these like clamp prison decks, are always the boogeyman. They're always the bad guy whenever I'm casting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know what it is about this style of deck that it just gets to you. But
Yeah. Wasteland's a draw for Jeff, and that's huge.
yeah, that is.
He's going to be able to waste draw off another land and then potentially accelerate.
How many cards are in Jeff's hand?
I believe 4. I believe he has a Wasteland, an Ugin, a Grim Monolith, and a Metalworker.
So is he gonna be able to?
I don't think he
Ugin-
quite has enough mana for Ugin.
Well,
5, 6. No, he's got exactly enough
Yeah.
for Ugin. So he's
6.
oh, he's got a Forge Master, and I don't recognize what that last card. Oh, Staff of Nin. One
Yeah.
of my favorite cards in this deck, actually.
So here comes Ugin.
Bada boom.
Boom.
That's gonna kill that.
Yeah, I
Delver.
think this game's over. He's gonna Ugin.
Oh, he's gonna. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, he's down ticking.
No,
What?
no, you uptick. And then you're just gonna play the Wasteland and Wasteland your Underground Sea, and this is.
And if you're Josh, I would just scoop here.
Yeah.
There's no way you're getting out of this one.
Yep. Maybe play for the camera a little bit more. Yep, perfect.
I mean,
Exactly.
move to discard for the camera really isn't playing for the camera.
That's true.
It's like 8 cards in hand. Will have to discard. It's going to be a Sylvan Library. Ouch. And you know, Josh kept a hand that was pretty land heavy. 2 of them were Wastelands, and of course he used them, but Jeff was able to easily draw out of them. And that is a White Seal Colossus in Jeff's hand, and I believe he can accelerate it out.
Almost, yeah. Well, let's see. So he has 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's it? Yeah.
Yeah. Quite enough.
Yep.
Jeff just
he
pass
just-
the turn?
Josh, yeah, that card actually does that.
Here we go. Here's some mana.
All
Bada boom.
these.
Here's the one I drew. Can you guess what I'm going to play this turn? The answer is, of course...
Oh,
White
that
Seal.
one. I can play that.
Your turn, good sir. Got to take 2 off that, of course. Go down to 10, but
I don't think that's relevant.
unless Jeff decides to start lightning bolting himself every turn with Ugin. Man, there are no draws that Josh can have.
Nope.
Vendilion Click's not going to do it, and the handshake is out.
Yep, that's it. Jeff gets there in 3.
Yeah. That third game was quite quick.
Yeah, I mean, once Metalworker's online, it's lights out.
Absolutely. It's too bad if Josh hadn't blanked on that land drop there.
Yeah.
I think he would have been able to easily win that game if he had been able to untap, play a land, abrupt decay the Metalworker, stop Jeff from being able to drop that Ugin, and then probably win the game from there.
Yeah, but it just shows you that, Jeff sequenced it right. He played the Trinisphere out first to practice. Like, he could have jammed the Metalworker a turn earlier and, really just hoped that Jeff didn't have a removal spell, that he would get to untap and just go nuts. Instead, he's like, hold on, I'm going to Trinisphere first. Hopefully shut him off of things, at least slow him down.
Absolutely.
And then set up the Metalworker for the following turn. And then Josh just broke down lands.
Absolutely. So while that match is in the books, I did hear that Stasis and that...
And the Didgeridoo.
Yeah, the Didgeridoo deck.
Didgeridoo.
Are still playing. I do not know. Are they done? They're in the middle of a game. We will try and get that on camera.
Yeah.
Should it go to game 3?
Yeah.
I really hope it does because I want to see both of those decks on camera.
Me too.
We haven't seen the Stasis deck, but that Didgeridoo deck was sweet.
Yes.
It, of course, was playing against a very unfair deck in Tinfins that won on turn 1 in one game. So,
I think it won on turn 2 in the other one.
I believe so. The deck's very good at doing that against decks that don't have Force Will in them.
Yes.
And really just showing you the power of that deck.
Yeah.
However, Stasis is slightly more fair, quite a bit slower. Maybe we'll be able to see that Didgeridoo, which does not tap to activate, come into play.
You still have to tap a bunch of mana, but...
I mean, yeah, sure. But you hit 6 mana, activate that bad boy twice.
I wonder what version of Stasis. I'm guessing Red Splash for some Ral Zarek, because that seems to be the common thing. And by common thing, I've seen it once.
Yeah, it's happened more than 0 times.
Yes.
All right. Usually I see Isochron Scepter with a boomerang on it.
That would be cool.
Slightly heavier combo, though. I do like the Ral Zarek. Haven't thought about that. Because then you also get to ice one of your opponent's lands. Very spicy.
Yeah, you get to ice them down, untap your lands. Eventually you get to take a bunch of turns and then...
Yeah, can you just make them take a bunch of turns, though? Because that'd be kind of cool.
No.
I'll just skip my turn. You can have 6 turns.
No, but that's like... once you've set up, tapped and untapped enough things, and you get, I don't know, massive untap something.
Yeah.
Then once you Ral Zarek, this is happening, your Ral Zarek will have, a million tokens on it, because you're going to not ultimate right away.
Yeah, obviously not.
But then as soon as you take some number of turns, then you can just start lightning bolting them.
Okay, makes sense.
I assume that's how it went.
You get enough counters to ultimate Ral Zarek.
We're in the middle of game 3.
Terrible news for you guys at home who are looking forward to that match. It sounds like the Minotaur Stasis match is in game 3, which means we're not going to be able to pull them into the feature match.
Sorry, guys.
Which means that, this week's broadcast is just about over.
Yep.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. From everyone here at Card Kingdom, thank you so much for watching. For everyone who runs the event here, thank you so much for putting this on. For all the players, thanks for playing. For everyone here, we'll see you next week. I'm Josh Monks. That's Mike Kiesel. We'll catch you guys later.
See ya.
Josh, did you call out 5?